All right, folks, it's Friday, and I got a fantastic update for you guys. You're going to love this one. The XRP Ledger getting an update, gold and silver getting their price updated as well. Let's get it rocking and rolling. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Everything can be found on my website, zachrector.com. You are looking at gold on the weekly chart. We are way zoomed out to show you how well that triple top broke through and continues to climb back up to 2,400 today and still climbing for our gold. For silver, we blew through $30 this morning. We continue to climb. We were just at $30.50 just about 15-20 minutes ago as I was preparing this show. We have blasted through here. $30.70 is the spot price right now for silver. Gold at 2,400. If you're looking to pick up some, we have resources available at my website, zachrector.com, for delivering it direct to your door or rolling over the 401k retirement account. We've been trying to help folks get the precious metals because we've been waiting for this move to come in. It doesn't move like a meme stock or a meme coin, but it's doing exactly what it's intended to do, being a source of preservation and protection for your wealth during a time of massive uncertainty. Let's get right on into it, folks. So first data point that I wanted to share with you, about 42% of those with household income of more than $100,000 report being behind or delinquent on buy now, pay later payments. Now, what's so interesting about this is they're just now starting to report the buy now, pay later balances and delinquencies to the credit agencies. So before, over the last couple years that this product has kind of been released, it hasn't even been tracked. We add to this the fact that the U.S. excess savings is now gone from $2 trillion at that most recent high down to zero and actually negative. We're growing at about basically negative 70 billion per month is our current run rate of excess savings. So we were up 2.1 trillion, all-time high for U.S. households after the massive stimulus. Don't pay bills, receive a free check, have a good time. Now we have gone into negative territory and we're going to continue at that pace. And folks, this is household incomes over $100,000 and folks still aren't making it. So I want you to relate this back to you, your situation, and kind of take in this information to gauge where you're at right now. Even if you're having some setbacks, some struggles, if you're not going delinquent, if you're paying your bills, if you have a little bit of excess savings, you're actually ahead of most Americans. Now, is that what we should strive for? No, I think we should strive for more. But just to put it into context, how tight it is getting out here for the middle class. Now, continuing into the stock market news, GameStop down another 20% to $22 pre-market after it lowers guidance and announces plans to dilute shares and raise money. That's right, folks. With the higher prices, GameStop taking advantage of it and going to be selling off some more stock. Now, Kiwi Infinity says this whole thing stinks of manipulation. Roaring Kitty should be investigated. This looks like a giant con. Once again, I've had my popcorn. I still got my popcorn. I'm watching this thing. I respect the hodlers, right? Just like the XRP community holding on to this dang thing. I relate to many of the game stoppers in that same sentiment. And so, in the XRP case, we're kind of partnering up with the banks and the suits. In the case of GameStop, they're trying to take them down. We'll see. Nonetheless, GameStop back down to $22, and we'll continue to watch where that one finishes off this week. Getting into it, folks, we have a bill introduced yesterday from Representative Thomas Massie, the Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act. This would get rid of the Board of Governors and all federal banks within a year, Federal Reserve banks within a year. Now, this type of rhetoric happens during election cycles. I really love what Thomas Massie has been working on. I've been very impressed. But once again, is it all talk? Is there any bite here? We're going to see. Nonetheless, I'm not expecting much. I woke up to the Federal Reserve over a decade ago when Ron Paul got me started learning about the Federal Reserve and the fact that we have never even just had an audit, right? If we don't want to go all the way to, abolishing it, that's fine. Let's just start with an audit, please. We got this role here from someone who's not even part of our government, a group of private central bankers, right? They're not federal and there is no reserves. And we have no idea what's going on here other than they got the levers. They're in control of the levers that are bringing that squeeze. Why are household incomes with 100,000, over 42% of them delinquent or behind on payments? Because the credit event is here. The squeeze of the middle class is here. Why are bankruptcy filings going to levels we haven't seen since the great financial crisis? Because the squeeze is here. This is them. Now, once again, when you go to artificially low rates for over a decade, and then you try to bring them back up to the average, sustainable rate, this is what's going to happen. So it's been bad policy for decades. I'm not here to blame Jerome Powell, any one board of governors, or any one decision. It's been decades of bad decisions and never addressing the issue. But I'm here for it. It's a good conversation starter to talk about. Most folks in America don't even know what the Federal Reserve is. Let's talk what else is going on in DC. SAB 121 is going down in flames in the Senate. This one from Metalama. And a huge shout out to James. He hosted a great session at XRP Las Vegas with John Deaton. He says, add this to the ignominious legacy of Gary Gensler. It's quite a record. First off, we got pervasive misconduct demonstrating a pattern of organizational bad faith implicating the commission itself in the debt box case. We got the arbitrary and capricious decisions in multiple cases. In the Ripple case, we have no faithful allegiance to the law. How about that one? And then illegally adopted staff accounting bulletin, crypto custody, etc. And it goes on and on and on. And now this gets sent to Biden's desk. And what this would do is this would allow banks and institutions to hold digital assets. Now, Elizabeth Warren, she sure came on out and said why we need to turn this down and vote no. And I'm sure she's calling up Mr. in the White House there and telling him what to do too. We're going to see. If he does nothing for 10 days, it becomes law. If he vetoes it, then it goes back and they have to pass with a super majority of 66%, 2/3 super majority. So nonetheless, we're starting to see here, Congress is finally getting us some rules, getting us something going here so we can start to see institutions and banks hold digital assets. And this is a big deal because they want to issue the stablecoin legislation. And my opinion is they want to issue the stablecoin legislation because they know it is how they save our treasury market. China bust $2 billion USDT money laundering operation. This one just came out yesterday, and I think that the Tether CEO owes Brad Garlinghouse a huge apology for the fact that all we've been doing is just asking questions about Tether. And we can't, talk about getting a legitimate audit out of the Federal Reserve. Where's a legitimate audit for Tether? Still don't have it. Still don't know what reserves they got, other than there's rumors and speculation that are quite scary. Commercial paper out of China. Now, I'm not going to expand on this further. I just wanted to bring this up and show you guys it's not us crazies in the XRP army that are trying to bring down Ethereum or trying to bring down Tether. And Brad Garlinghouse wasn't attacking Tether. He was stating a fact that the government is coming after Tether. They already did. The New York Attorney General already called it a deceptive and fraudulent scheme. That's not Brad Garlinghouse. That's the New York Attorney General. And so once again, we see another case here, China busting $2 billion of a money laundering operation just yesterday. Continuing on into, let's see what Brad Garlinghouse has to say about retail speculators beating institutions to digital assets. Let's take a listen.
The thing that's very different, and I've been out in Silicon Valley for about 20 years, the thing that's very different about what's happening now versus the dot-com bubble is the dot-com bubble, it was the institutional investors who were in, and then retail came on top and priced things up. The exact opposite has happened here. Mm-hmm. You have retail and kind of speculative interest already in the market, and now you have institutional money starting to come in. The thing that's very different...
So this is what we're watching right now, folks, and they're trying to be really low-key about them picking up bags. Obviously, we have the Senate bill here that just passed, and now they're actually going to be allowed to. But our speculation has led us to the pre-allocation contracts that have been cited in the lawsuit. We know they're there. It's just a matter of who's been picking up what. And I think that it got released yesterday. I should have put this into the show notes here today. But it's something like 900 plus institutions and investment boards and different groups had to disclose that they have Bitcoin spot positions. This just came out this week. So It went from nobody wants any piece of this, it's crazy, it's criminal, it's bad, to nearly 1,000 institutions and investment boards have already made an allocation towards Bitcoin. And if you think that they're just looking at Bitcoin, then you'd be greatly mistaken, because look at the rest of the space. You get introduced to crypto through Bitcoin for most people, and then you look on down the list and either you invest in memes and other crazy speculation, or you speculate on utilities, or you speculate on whatever you want, right? Or you want to get into staking. So this is why I believe we're in the beginning phases of a super cycle for digital assets, is because Bitcoin ETFs brought Bitcoin up to a new all-time high before halving. That's never been done. But this is just the first of many ETFs that are on the way. Is the Ethereum ETF going to get passed this month? We'll see. They got the consensus lawsuit. We'll see. But we know that they are coming. Large cap funds, XRP ETF. It's all coming. Now, I'm not going to play this clip because it has some music in the background, but Bearable Bull shared this one directly from Ripple, with Modular Finance being one of the only non-bank financial institutions working with the Bank of England. The partnership makes a lot of sense on both sides. Expect nothing but greatness in the coming months. And we're starting to see, day after day, the veil being lifted on these partnerships. And they talk about how easy it is and how much of a pleasure it has been to work with Ripple. Now, what I love to see in this XRP Ledger ecosystem, though, is we're starting to get more developers, more products, and more businesses showing up on the XRP Ledger, because now we're finally adding the utilities. First, it was NFTs. We were way late to NFTs. We're way late to AMM, but now we're seeing products, all these different AMM interfaces, right? And we're going to see more coming with the cross-chain bridge. We're going to see more coming with the DID. And we just got this update from VET. Rippled 2.2 beta release with a few XRP Ledger amendments, including price oracles. Why is price oracles so important? This will allow us to use like oracles like Chainlink or others to be able to pull, or Flare, to be able to pull real world data back on chain, so that we can, basically tokenize real world assets and merge both the physical, world with the digital world. Right. And basically real world asset market prices can be brought in for tokenizing these assets on chain. That's why price oracles are so important. Cross-chain bridge fix, that's XLS38D. They are implementing a fix there. They got a fix coming for DID, that's XLS40D. Decentralized identity going to be massive for on-chain KYC. Regulated institutions need it. If you want to be in compliance, you got to have it. And then we have an AMM rounding fix. That's good. After thorough testing of this beta release, it will be considered for public full release. It is on the way. They're going to do their tests. They're going to fix it. We got bugs. We got this. They're going to do their deal, and we're going to do our deal. And that's by shining the spotlight on these developers, these builders. What we're working on right now, we're having some conversations behind the scenes about how to bring more funding into the XRP Ledger ecosystem for these builders. Not just relying on Ripple grants, but we have plenty of folks, myself included, that what am I looking at next? You guys know what I'm trying to do with my XRP profit and the money that I'm making, and the next investment opportunities I'm looking at are private equity and real estate. Private equity and XRP Ledger companies sounds like a good time to me. So this is what we're watching right now, folks. The rest of the space is going to be trying to play catch up with our legal clarity and with our utilities at a protocol level. Yeah, we were late to having NFTs, AMM, and all these utilities, but it's happening at a protocol level, unlike the layer 2 smart contracts on Ethereum that are getting sued by the SEC. Case in point, Uniswap AMM. Case in point, all these platforms that are now being sued for their staking, right? And all these exchanges that are having to end their staking programs, settle up and close it down. Meanwhile, we're building out the utilities at the protocol level on the XRP Ledger, which separates us apart. And then the other competitive advantage that we're going to have is when we get the final ruling on this case, we are potentially going to get the ODL sign off. The go ahead, flip the switch on ODL, you're good to go. It's not an investment contract, and you can continue that business. And that business model is one of the few legitimate business models in this space. And if we get the sign off from the judge, we'll have that legal precedent on top of XRP in and of itself not being a security, while the rest of the space is wondering if they're even going to have the money to be able to fight the SEC that is turning and pointing the crosshairs directly at them. It's a beautiful time to be in the XRP community. Folks, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. It is Friday. The sun is out. I'm going to go enjoy it with the family. I will see you guys in the next one. And please help me out by liking this video, dropping a comment down below, and sharing it out far and wide. I still have a lot of people that are messaging me, don't even know that I have the YouTube channel back. So we're trying to be discovered again on YouTube. I greatly appreciate all of your support. If you're looking to get the metals, the crypto, your wallets, it's all at zachrector.com, and you can get tapped in with our private Patreon Discord group. We got our Discord weekly call every single Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. I'd love to see you guys in there. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.